What's up, GSP gang? Hold on, I'll get y'all right. What's up, GSP gang? Hey, so this video is gonna be a little bit different, man. We in the office settings, because I'm taking y'all to class today. A lot of people asked about a health test, and I'm gonna explain stuff today. Now, a couple people not gonna like this. A lot of you guys ain't gonna like this, but hey, I go by numbers. I do the numbers. I do the research. I'm sorry if it doesn't agree with your niche or however you want to tell your customers. If you're a breeder or if you're a customer, however you heard and what your breeders say, because I know it's just like in politics. If your side says something, this is how you truly believe everything should be. Now, I'm not saying don't do any of this before. This is a disclosure. Before I say anything, I'm not saying don't do any of this. Do all of this. Do much more. Do everything you want to do. Whatever you deem necessary for your program. When it comes to OFA, they're going to tell you, oh yeah, I'm jumping right into it. When it comes to OFA, they're going to tell you to do this test, make sure all the... We're talking Rottweiler specifically. You don't need all that bullshit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of the stuff like the eye test, man, listen. Just like a human eye can change any given year. Couple years down the road, your eye, like me, I wear glasses, y'all. I didn't wear glasses for the first 21 years of my life. And then the doctor said, hey, you don't really need glasses, but here you can take these for, when you're driving sometimes. And then I got about 30, and the doctor was like, hey, you might want to wear these a little bit more. Honestly, y'all, by the time I was 28, I was wearing them bitches all the time. I wear glasses 24/7 or contacts of some sort. Now, I'm not wearing them now, and I'm in my mid-30s, not wearing them, because I don't feel like it, and they bother me. And guess what? My vision has been actually getting a little bit better. This is what I mean by your eyes just adjust. They do that, right? Dogs the same way, so why are you taking all these tests? As long as your dog doesn't go completely blind during his life, you know what a dog is. You know what a dog is. In 2 to 3 years, or a dog when an adult, you know what a dog is. Now, I get it. Customers want these certain tests, a certain whatever. Some customers in a certain price range, they want a lot of these different tests because they don't trust breeders. I get it. You don't trust breeders. I'm so transparent though. I'm always on here. When it comes to certain breeders that throw everything out there, you see everything. You see their dogs. You don't see that one picture from 5 years ago. You don't see that one video from 5 years ago. You don't see that dog for 6 seconds once a year or so. Because a lot of breeders do that. That's not the GSP way. So just keep all that in mind, right? So there's certain type of breeders, they never put anything, any public information. They only show you little snippets of stuff. They use a lot of Photoshop. Don't be fooled by stuff like that. So those, man, get as much paperwork as you like. Don't let those American breeders tell you that a breeder from another country is better just because they're from another country. They're very crooked in other countries, just like they're very crooked in America. But the one difference is America, certain things like OFA, and if you do this, a penny hip, whatever you want to do, they can't be paid off. That's the difference. They won't be paid off. Now, overseas, I know for a fact, I'm not going to call anybody out. That's not the game I play. I know for a fact they can pay certain doctors to say certain things. There's certain breeders over there, probably the biggest breeders over there. I can put the top 5 breeders you can name over there. I know 2 of them that I know for a fact paperwork says this dog doesn't have JLPP. This dog has perfect hips, perfect elbows. Oh, and they're going to shout out their doctor all the time. Shout out Dr. So-and-so. Yeah, they paying their doctor very well to make sure they get perfect scores on every single one of their dang dogs. You bring them over here, you do your own testing. Shout out to the breeders that do that. They bring them over here their own testing. I wouldn't do that, though, because that's a waste of money. That's a waste of money. You shoot yourself in the foot. I get it. You empathy. It's your brand. Heart. I ain't gonna say empathy. I'm gonna say your heart, right? This is what you do. I get it. You're solid. You're gonna be right. You're gonna do right by your people. I get it 100%. But if you're saying those people overseas are all this so much better, then why are you testing again? Because you don't trust them. You don't trust them, just like you don't trust anybody else. And but me, I feel like if you're gonna do these testings, I'm just gonna educate you, because sometimes you could be wasting your money. It's important. Buying from as a customer, what's most important? being able to replace your dog or get your money back, right? A lot of breeders not gonna give you your money back, but they replace that dog for you. So make sure they have in that contract, hey, if this comes up, if I check this and this happens, I can get a replacement pet. And you can take this bullshit ass dog back. That's the most important, right? Not what a paper says. Cause a breeder can show you a paper that says this dog doesn't have hip dysplasia. This dog is perfect. This mother doesn't have hip dysplasia, and that dog still will have hip dysplasia. And you be like, what? I thought this was yes, because certified dogs, damn, I'm getting into it already. Certified dogs with certified hips, both mom and dad certified hips can have a puppy with bad hips. Two dogs with bad hips can have a puppy with perfect hips. So what matters most? The contract. So I know this video is about OFA, well not OFA, we'll say hips and elbows and JLPP. And I'm gonna explain, all of those with you because it's on a rock level. I'm not going into the details about all these other tests. They got lax tests. Hell, my dog had all kind of heart tests, and Silver had all kind of different tests. A lot of them from overseas, but then the lady got her in Florida and did a bunch of more tests. Why? Don't know, because you don't get more money. And let me tell you that you don't get more money by doing all these tests. You don't get more money. A male dog will go. Say if you sell a dog for so and so amount, say $3,000, you can get all those tests in the world. Those people still gonna try to pay you $3,000 for that same dog. You can yell until you lose your damn voice. I did this, I did that. Man, don't nobody give 3 fucks because they like, hey, that's not gonna buy me no sale. I'm looking at the dog. This is what that dog looks like. You can say it all you want, try to make somebody feel comfortable, but let's understand that majority, we'll take me for example. 90% of my people, they trust me. They watch my stuff, they trust me. They're not trusting sheets of paper. No, they're trusting GSP Rotties, Mr. Kane right here. They trust me. Anyway, let's get to it, y'all. Oh, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, this is gonna be a very different. This is a classroom setting type stuff. So, because I really want to break this down to everybody. So let's break it down. All right, first, let's see here. Yeah, I had to dang take the screenshots, y'all. As I say some of the stuff, some of these screenshots are gonna be popping on the screen. My bad. All right, dysplasia. So there's hip dysplasia and their elbow dysplasia. I won't get into real depth about elbow dysplasia. Just know, it happens just like the hips. The hips is the biggest joint, so I really want to kind of focus on that. Just know, you kind of know dog's elbows get the, doing this, stuff like that. They probably got a little dysplasia right here. And maybe like this too. Sometimes they got a little dysplasia. Most dogs, it doesn't really bother them. That's what those ethical breeders don't want to hear. But most dogs, it doesn't really bother them. But we'll get into that later. You can fact check me later because I come with facts. All of my stuff, just for anybody wanted to yell out, cite your source. All of my stuff is coming from the AKC website, the OFA website, and a little bit of ChatGPT. I ain't gonna hold you, but even those are referencing OFA website and different graphs from dog publications. So anyway, what is hip dysplasia? Hip dysplasia is a developmental disorder in which the hip joints do not fit properly into the socket, leading to joint instability, inflammation, and eventually arthritis. So basically, you got a hip joint and you coming in right here. If it's not sliding in perfect where it's not rubbing, you start getting issues, it rubs a little bit, essentially, and then you get arthritis, and arthritis hurts, just like humans. Now let's get to the nitty gritty. So you can have your dog tested. There's 2 main places that you can set, which is pin hip. Pin hip can do things a lot earlier, so breeders can make a decision on a dog they want to keep if that's the route you want to take in testing. A lot of breeders, they throw out that OFA because it's non-profit, and they're promoted by AKC, so that's what everybody shoots towards. So I got some of this information off the OFA website, right? So there's 5 different levels of hip dysplasia grades that you can receive. Anybody, my boy Thor. Thor is available. I'm gonna throw that in there. I don't know when you're watching this video, so he may be already gone, but if you're watching it later on. But if you're watching it, more recent times of the publishing date, Thor is available right now for $3,500. Hit me up. Does have excellent hips. Excellent is the highest up. The highest you can receive is excellent hips. Yes, Mr. Jump Through the Roof has excellent hips. So the categories: excellent, good, fair, borderline, and dysplasia. 5 categories. Somebody's out there just heard that and was like, man, it's 7 categories. Yeah, okay. We can say it's 7 because that 5th category is actually broken down into 3. So 5, 6, and 7. So 7 categories total. Hip dysplasia. Dysplasia comes in 3 different things: mild dysplasia, moderate dysplasia, and severe dysplasia. The only one you really need to worry about, and this is why I say make sure you have your contracts, is severe dysplasia and moderate dysplasia too. First, let me go ahead and throw this out there. Hip dysplasia, just in-elbow dysplasia. They are hereditary, people. Yes, they are hereditary. This is what your breeder is going to tell you. This is what your breeder is going to say. Everybody should be testing for it because it is hereditary. What they're not going to tell you is the hereditary marks in Rottweilers is typically between 25 and 40%. Yes, that's less than 50. It's less than 50. Majority of dysplasia doesn't come hereditary, and it isn't genetic. Majority is from factors like the growth rate, the diet, the exercise, the type of flooring the dog is on, and then the body weight during puppyhood. So basically how you take care of your dog. So up to 75% of cases involving dysplasia is just poor ownership. Nothing to do with the dog genetics at all. Just poor ownership. You guys out there that want to have those fat ass puppies. Oh, my dog is eight months, 100 pounds already, and want to brag about that, and then bitch about somebody and bitch about a dog having hip dysplasia. Want to blame the breeder later on, or want to blame sometimes the breeder fault. Sometimes the breeder like to preach, because some of the breeders out there like to preach big dogs too. So I'm not gonna give them a free pass here. Now, breeders like me, we get a free pass because I'm not on that type of energy. I think a dog should grow. I think a dog should grow steadily. Also, you super working people. Yep, that little niche, that protecting niche, whatever. When you're doing too much with a young puppy, you're doing way too much with a young puppy because he got that whatever. So you got him jumping off walls and all this extra stuff. And then you wonder why your dog's all fucked up when they get older. Now I know it's a couple breeders. There's one out there in Texas right now. He spoke on this before. He was like, yeah, my dog, I think he said the dog was like borderline or maybe even a mild case of hip dysplasia. But he said that didn't really matter because he knew how hard he worked his dog. And the dog worked fine. So he's like, why would I care about that? My dog works fine. My dog's over 2. True enough. True enough. We'll get to that percentage later on. Matter of fact, we'll say that right now. All right. So if your dog is over 2 and your dog shows no signs of dysplasia, it doesn't matter what type of test you take at that time. Why would you take a test? It's purely for politics, purely for selling purposes for politics. I get it, especially if it's a male. But you don't have to. That dog's gonna be perfectly fine. Less than 10%. It's less than 10% chance that a dog over 2 years old will develop dysplasia. If it's over 2 years old and is healthy, working, everything it does is fine. It doesn't have any limps or anything like that. It's gonna be fine, y'all. Have you guys seen my dogs, man? You seen what Agen looks like? I guess you guys be looking at Smoke and be like, oh, Smoke a little man. Smoke looks exactly like Agen looked at that age. Smoke looks exactly like any other of my dogs looked at that age. With Thor being the only different, because I didn't have him at that age. You got Thor when he was grown already. He was already 1. Even when I got him, shout out to his breeder. She always wrote, hey, don't have him jumping off, too much. He's still, kind of young boy as far as whatever. And, which I already knew that. I didn't tell the damn dog to jump. Thor is a jumper, right? I was just on top of the wall trying to grab something for him. And usually I can do that. And Draco was just saying that, wait on me. What Thor jumped the fuck up there? And how the hell I want to get his big ass down? I had to get him down. So that's what really happened. But so he's just a freak of nature. So I had to really learn him. But in general, yeah, slippery stuff. It was like the cement was kind of slippery at my old place. All right, quote unquote ethical breeders. They always pushing for these dysplasia. Let's talk about hip. This is directly from the OFA data system. According to the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals, that's OFA, about 20% of Rottweilers evaluate show some degree of hip dysplasia. 20%. So all this complaining and bitching and all this other stuff about what you have to do as far as dysplasia, y'all, we're talking about 20%. Now, they said breeding programs that try to certify each parent. I'm not saying nothing is wrong with that. Me personally, I damn sure what I'm gonna guarantee to do is certify my males, right, when they're of age. That's not mean I'm not gonna wait. I'm not waiting until a dog is 2.5, 3 years old before I breed them. No, I don't believe in that. I never will. This is how I go, right? I get my dogs JLPP DNA tested because I start my breedings after they're 1. So I make sure all of that, and then I do a physical check. We'll get into that later about a physical check, because a lot of the stuff technically you can look at physically, and if you know what you're looking for, you can get it. Because we're talking about numbers, we're talking about percentages, we're talking about numbers. But anyway, responsible breeders, with certified parents, they're trying to drop the number to 10%, maybe even 5 if they're lucky, right? So yeah, so all of this he had about dysplasia, we're trying to knock it down from 20% chance to 10% chance. That's not very much. Not very much, y'all. 80% chance your puppy is gonna be just fine, man. This is not including like inbreeding and other crazy stuff, where you got and then like I say, heavy ass dogs have problems. Inbred, unhealthy, heavy ass dogs, higher chance of having problems. But in general, 20%, man, dysplasia. And then with elbow, and with elbow, like I said, I won't get into too much with elbow. Elbow doesn't have those 7 different cases. Well, 5 different cases with the last one being dysplasia. Dysplasia broke down into mild, moderate, and severe. Elbow only has, normal, borderline, dysplasia. Those 3. That's what elbow is. Like I say, most dogs with borderline is nothing, right? Because, it's different strokes for different folks. Just like your bone may sit a little different than everybody else, but you're going to be just fine. You built for you. Now, if you're going to be a fat ass and have your bone sit different, then you got issues. Same thing with dogs, man. Same thing with dogs. Some dogs got, like Thor. Thor got some bows on him. So Thor's like this a little bit. So he wouldn't, if they had excellent, he wouldn't get excellent elbows, right? He got excellent hips because, come on, he missed the Michael motherfucking Jordan. But, normal elbows, right? Normal elbows, close to borderline, right? Which is cool, man, which is cool. Because everybody want to talk about the screams and how they can't do this and can't do that, man. My boy, DNA came back great. And then he got the black mass. That's in his DNA too. And you can say what you want about the black mass. Say what you want. I don't really care. Hips, perfect. Even if you get tested, your dog gets tested and has dysplasia, so they won't get that quote unquote certified. Let's say they get mild dysplasia or even moderate dysplasia. Just want to hint at you guys, especially if it's just a pet. I know this is a rising breeder or a guy that wants to be a breeder. He be putting dogs the fuck down. Please, if you're watching this, stop putting your damn dogs down, man. Stop putting your damn dogs down for bullshit. So this is why I'm saying this part. Studies have shown 76% of severely dysplasic, whatever fucking word it is, dogs with dysplasia are shown to be able to live comfortable, quality lives with just minor conservative management. That means just lighter weight, a light diet, and don't overwork them. That's with severe, right? So if it's just mild or or a moderate case, they're gonna be just fine. You just have to keep them light and don't do too much stuff. A lot of you guys don't have these crazy working dogs anyway. Majority of people in the Rottweiler world are people that want dogs, man. You just want a family protector that's a pet. right? You just want a dog that look good, protect the house, and you can go throw a ball with every now and then, man. You're gonna be just fine. Don't worry about nothing. Just don't have that dog being lazy, and you'll be just fine. Yeah, it is some cases out there where it gets real bad, man. Sorry for y'all, right? Sorry for y'all. Just get it. That's why I say always have it in your contract. Contracts matter more. Contracts might matter more than all this other stuff because you can do all these tests all you want. If the contract say we ain't gonna do shit about it, then you ain't gonna get shit about it. Remember that. And if you sign that contract, because a lot of you guys, you're talking junk about breeders, but you signed the contract. Nobody want to hear what you got to say if you sign a contract. That's why in my contract, I'm adding slander. All right, now I'm not gonna pay you back if you slander my name over something that you signed for. No, you gonna pay me on top of what you already paid me. Because sometimes you got to make people stand on it, man. And unfortunately, that's how it goes, man. Because I know sometimes, business sucks sometimes. I took losses. I ain't signed nothing. I took losses. But anyway, man, I know that's probably like a 30-minute video on Dysplasia alone, man. We're going to keep JLPP short and sweet. All right, gang. Last but not least, JLPP. When it comes to the difference between hip and elbow dysplasia and JLPP, I actually think the JLPP testing is more important. I know some people, I seen somebody arguing on Facebook about it. It was like, oh, dysplasia is just important, or dysplasia is actually more important. I think JLPP, because dysplasia, your dog may just be 100% fine. Or worst case, your dog, you have to change your diet. Really worst case, a dog be really, have to take medicine and stuff. But it's not very often that your dog got to be put down or something like that. But if that dog got JLPP, that's a dead dog. This is why I say contracts are very important on all the other stuff. With JLPP, contracts are very important. Luckily for us, JLPP is actually hereditary. It's not like multi-genal like his hip dysplasia and the elbow dysplasia. They're different because it's a mixture of genes that can cause it, and it's no like real, okay, if you got this is what causing it, or you got this is the carrier. Also, with dysplasia, you can have dysplasia and be just fine. Or you can not have dysplasia and something hurt, right? Because, it's just different like that. JLPP, more crystal clear. It's a recessive trait. It means you can need both genes. So both parents have to be a carrier for you to get it. You won't have a situation where you breeding a carrier to a full-blown JLPP person, JLPP dog. Because if dog has JLPP, that's a dead dog. Like I say, we'll say the definition. JLPP is a recessive inherited disease caused by mutation of the RAB3-GAP1 gene that you can get on Embark. I know there's other DNA places you can do. You can do OFA. I think OFA does it. AKC does it for sure. A little bit cheaper. I like to do the full everything. That's why I do Embark. Because I check for everything. Do claws, muscling genes, different genes. I check everything. I see what genes relate to how the dog look. Okay, that dog has this. That dog has this. So I do it. That's just me. That's why I use Embark. Not particularly for the politics of it. But anyway, it affects the nervous system, particularly the nerves controlling muscles in the throat, tongue, and limbs. So yeah, this MF hurts. This MF hurts. So they will probably have to be put down. Now, most contract says, if you have a contract that says any type of promises about JLPP, like mine doesn't say I guarantee the puppy won't be a JLPP carrier. Although I only had one dog that was a carrier. Most of my dogs are not carriers at all. But I do think breeding carriers is important. If that dog has everything you need and want as far as qualities of a Rottie, breed that carrier, right? You can breed that carrier, keep a dog. You got to keep that gene pool because there's certain qualities. I know it's gonna be some breeders out there saying we got enough dogs. No, we don't. No, we don't. And when it comes to a certain quality, It's a limited gene pool out there, and that gene pool happens to include JLPP. But you can work around it. Like I said, simple DNA test, a lot cheaper. We're talking something between $40 and $150 versus hip dysplasia, elbow dysplasia. Those tests, we're talking on the low end, which is in my area, $350, $400, up to like $1,000 somewhere else. All for somebody to say a dog shouldn't be over $1,000. And so yeah, just remember that, doing all these tests and stuff for, and you can get it sometimes. Sometimes you can get it, but some people put certain emphasis on certain things when it comes to price. Some people, if that dog's big, they'll pay for it. Some people, that dog healthy with quality, looks like what they always dream of the Rottweiler be, or acts like what they always dream of the Rottweiler be, they'll pay for it. Some people, it's just your brand altogether. Some people, they do admire those health tests. They do put a certain value on those certain health tests. And some people put all the value on some people put all the value on championships and stuff like that. Championships can be paid for too, man. Because I don't know if y'all know, but it's a big difference. just look at Europe, for example. It's a big difference from a Serbian champion and a German champion and a Russian champion. And all these dogs, like, you're like, so what the hell makes you a champion? Because these dogs don't look nothing like, so it's different things, like I say. And then they all be FCI, right? So they all go to the same championship thing that's held on by FCI, not ADRK. I know somebody gonna try to say that. No, we're talking about just FCI in general. And who's the real champion, right? And then you come over here in America and you go to one of these Seagull things and you say, oh, you're the German. The German not winning. the one I went to in Swansea, South Carolina, fact check me. The German dog did not win. The German dogs that were there did not win. They might win maybe some working championships or something like that. But they have little heads, man. And some of them have okay size heads. But don't get me wrong, it's some German dogs that do have the boxier frame, but it's just some of those health freaks that's in America that say they got German dogs that got all these German names in the back of and their pedigree. Their dogs specifically, it's just not it. But like I said, it's some Serbian that are not like the super extremes, and then the Germans that are confirmation quality. Those dogs look alike, and and like I said, it's the one I went to in Swansea, South Carolina. It was a Serbian bloodline dog that was kind of a mix between the traditional standard German look and the slightly extreme look. Had a lot of Edestein in it. So the guy said, oh, he's got a little wrinkle, so it kind of docked it a little bit, but that dog still won. That dog was V1. That dog was the champion of that show, at the show I went to. So just to keep all that in mind. But yeah, anyway, back to JLPP. So symptoms usually appear by week 3 to 8. So we talking about puppies 3 to 8 weeks old. They get weakness. They start paralyzed, and their that L word, LARYNX, learn it. I don't know, in their voice box. So they can't breathe. They can't swallow. Choking hazard. They can't bark. So shit get real bad in this area, and then eventually they die. They normally don't live longer than a few months, so you will know. That's why I say in your contract, puppy exchange, right? Dog, no JLPP. My stuff comes with no life-threatening or altering genetic issues on my dog's contract, and then also just the stuff in general. Like I said, I seen somebody that had a dog that had 2 nuts. One nut was a little small. They said, that dog had a higher chance of getting cancer, but the dog didn't have cancer. So that's and all stuff like that. That's a little statistic. That's a little sketch. You can't really prove that. So that wouldn't be good enough. That's not a life-threatening situation. Not life-altering either. The one nut dog, and those one nut dogs can essentially be. So this is what vets don't tell you. They can essentially be just like any other dog. They just try to get you to not breed them. Oh, it's hereditary. Yeah, a little bit. Just like dysplasia is hereditary a little bit. 'Cause technically, it had to come from somewhere, right? So it may not be a specific dog. It's a specific dog and bitch combination. and then that's a low percentage chance within that combination. So that's how you got to look at it, man. I say that's why contracts are the most important. Not so much. Oh, just I don't hear that none of shit. Cause once you sign that paper, you sign that paper. But when it comes to nuts, you can check a dog's nuts. Yeah, you can check a dog's nuts.